Hey everybody, it's Chance from Aquascape. So today I am preparing for the Aqua Expo, South Florida Aqua Expo down in Coral Springs at the La Quinta Inn Hotel and Convention Center. I have low stock on plants as far as what I'm bringing due to me actually just starting to rebuild everything, so it's kind of odd timing that I have the convention thing, but it was planned out ahead of time, but the loss of all my plants wasn't. So, but anyway, here we are. So I have a good amount of plants left. I have a lot of the Cryptocoryne that I've been growing forever. They've all survived my spell of whatever it was. So these right here are a mixture of Cryptocoryne Wendettii. They're actually flamingo reverts. They came from my original Cryptocoryne flamingo, but they've reverted, and I've always just dumped the reverts down into this bin and let them grow. But it's also mixed in with Cryptocoryne Aroids, which I believe is been reclassed to another crypt or whatever. Actually got a true name, and for some reason it's escaping me now, but whatever. It doesn't matter. If you know it, throw it in the comments. But Cryptocoryne Aroids thrown in here, and you can see the difference in the two leaves here. Aroids and then Wendettii. So, and then over here you have Lagenandra, Embolii green. Really cool plant. This was grown from tissue culture cup, just thrown in there, and it did its thing. Behind it is Cryptocoryne Lagenandra. This was grown from seed from the originally collected Cryptocoryne Lagenandra that I got from Aaron Talbot, which is in the greenhouse over there. So I won't be plucking that out because it's still really small. I just kind of put the seed pod there and it did its thing. Over here you have Lagenandra Embolii silver powder. Really cool lag. This is the variant that is extremely silver when submerged as well. This isn't the one that gets more green. This is the real silver one. So I'm very happy about that. I got that from Ricky Chawla a long time ago. Thank you, Ricky. You're an amazing friend for helping me through all the depression stuff. I really appreciate that, man. Like, no idea. Thank you so much, Ricky. So anyway, the goal of this video is I'm going to show you guys how I prepare the plants to be go to the expo or even be shipped. You know, I do the same thing for when I'm shipping the plants. So we find what we're going to take, or whatever your order is, and for this I'm just going to take a bunch of these guys and stuff. So I start by loosening the dirt up a bit that they're in. So I give the bin a good shake on all four sides, just to loosen it up a bit, and that allows the dirt, substrate, soil, whatever you want to call it. Proper term I guess would be substrate at this point, because it's a mixture of soil and a bunch of other stuff. So if we're going by the horticultural term, it's substrate. But anyway, loosens it up and allows for you to get in there and extract your plant easier. Another way that works really well is you can take a knife, or in my case my pink scissors here, and you can kind of just cut along one side of the corner there, and then go through where you just cut and go up under it and just kind of come up a bit. The goal is to extract the plant with as much root mass as possible, because roots are attractive, roots help sell plants, so that's what you want to do. So we'll pull them up, and it looks like what we end up having here is a bunch of little guys that kind of have grown out, maybe lost some leaves through time, which is fine, whatever. I'm not really aiming to make it big off selling plants. My whole goal is to, with the Aqua Expo tomorrow, is to build the YouTube channel and to build up, my knowledge base spreading, I guess, and just basically have these available for folks. It's kind of where I'm taking my hobby, by the way. I don't want to just sell plants and just do that. I would like to do something with all the knowledge that I have and find some way to incorporate that into my living, incorporate that into how I take care of myself and my kids and my family and things. So here we are, handful of plants. We actually have some nice mature ones now. I mean, that's a nice little plant there, you know. So all of these guys will go down here, and this is just water, just plain old water. Give it a nice shake, let the roots get nice and clean, and yeah, I let them sit in here for a few minutes, maybe even up to an hour. If I'm shipping far away, like if I'm exporting out of the country, I will let plants soak overnight, just so they get well hydrated before they go on their adventure around the world to Maldives or Singapore or Thailand or Iran. I'm trying to think of all the countries I've sent plants to. I can't believe I sent plants to Iran. Like, that's probably the coolest, most odd destination I think I've sent plants to so far in my life. Shouldn't be saying that. Scratch that out, maybe. I don't know. Is that incriminating? Probably. But statute of limitations. It was a long time ago. All right. I'm a weirdo. My bad. So I'm just going to keep pulling out some crypts here. Just one more clump just to show you guys, give you the idea. Try to shake off as much as your soil as you can. Oh, look, a little worm. So this is why I love my soil, man. There's so much life in it. It's so healthy. There's so much good things going on in it. This is obviously before I strained my soil too. This is actually one of my first bins I've made. But that just shows you, man, like this dirt, this substrate in here, this mix in here is like 5 years old. So really cool. And just to show you, I mean, that is a Anubias Nana Petite. And when I put it in there, it was just one clump. Like one little clump, and it just exploded over the course of 5 years. But then again, like I said, I don't feed it, so this bin's completely depleted in nutrients, and it only relies on me foliar spraying, which I honestly haven't done in a very long time. But that'll change here soon once I get things reset, the great reset of Aquascape and Co. So that's for the crypts. Now we go over to the lags. Lags are a little different because they are rhizomatous. They grow on the nice chunky rhizome there, and I don't want to pull my whole stock because I don't want to not have plants to regrow and sell later. I'm going to strategically trim these plants, and I'm not going to bring many of the lags, mainly because they are a little larger and less known, and I don't believe many hobbyists will be like, oh, a lag, yeah, I'm going to buy that, especially at the convention that this is at. But we'll see. I may be wrong, and then I'll learn, and then next time I'll bring more lags. Who knows? That's what it's all about. Man, look at that soil. It's still like so healthy and nice too. Anyway, all right. So remember I told you guys roots are my thing. You saw the roots on these guys. See the roots on these guys. I ripped off most of the roots, unfortunately, but big roots mean happy plants. Healthy roots mean healthy plants. So big healthy roots mean big healthy plants. Yeah. Same process with the lags. Drop it down into the bucket. Just a piece of advice, and I know I already have this bin mixed up with species, but if you're kind of new to identifying species and things like that of the same genus, especially with crypts, use separate buckets for separate species so you don't mix them up and have a hard time re-identifying once you go to throw them into bags. So we'll cut another piece off of this. I'll probably only bring like 1 or 2 pieces. I'm trying to find a good place to trim it. I guess that would work too. Go in there. And again, I just press the scissors down into the substrate, cut, and I pull off. As long as you got a bit of root onto it, it's fine. It's a viable plant. And I'll price them according to size. That way, you know, you're not paying the same amount for a plant that has 1 billion leaves versus the one that has 3 leaves. So everything's fair in the world of plants, kind of. All right, now this one, I'm going to be very strategic on how I cut it because I don't want to mess it up at all. And I kind of want to get this repropagated out in a larger container for, you know, future endeavors with this plant. So I'll bring probably 2 or 3 pieces of this as well. Again, I don't want to bring too many because then I'm stuck having to bring it back and replant it, but that's a really nice plant, you know? I mean, you come into a nice expo and you see that and you're like, oh wow, cool, I'll buy that. So hopefully that's the idea. I had a monster this morning, so I'm like really ranty. Let's see, there's a good section I can cut off right there. We'll go right here. And this would also be how you propagate these out. Like if I were to just be taking this and throwing it into a new bin, that's what I would be doing. So I just got a twofer. I managed to snip the rhizome like in the direct right place. That was blind luck. Had I screwed up, like been an inch to one side more, I would have screwed up both of these plants. So that was real lucky. I've done that before where I literally just chop the whole head of the plant off from the rhizome. It's not the end of the plant, because the rhizome will regrow eventually. It's just the end of the plant for a little bit, because then you got to wait for it to regrow, but it will. I actually trim the Cryptocoryne spiralis tigers and reds and all those. I trim them all the way down to nothing, down to their crume, regularly, just because of how fast they grow. And when they regrow back like beast if you do that. Just a tip with pretty much all crypts, and I know it's going to be hard for some of you to do that to the rarer crypts, but I'll just show you real quickly. These are all my rarer crypts in here, ones that I have left. But the Chordata Thailand, I did that to all of them that I had left in here. I just trimmed them down to nothing and they exploded. They sent out new plantlets, rhizome runners all over the bin, like insane. And then Cryptocoryne Bellisii, same deal. I trimmed it down to nothing and it's like just exploded in a cluster. Neuratorio, same deal. So we'll have those available soon. I may bring one or two of the Chordata Thailands with me. I don't know, we'll see. I have some milk going on in here, it looks like, but that's fine. So yeah, Cryptocoryne Figueroa purple. Alright, back over here. So once we're at this far along with the process, I will then bag the plants. I'm using lovely zipper bags for this process because I am unprepared and don't have cheapo plant bags. So yeah. So what I'm going to do for this, so like instead of doing like making this one plant, I'm going to put a couple in here in this bag and label it as, you know, Wendellii multiple propagals or whatever, and price it accordingly. I'm trying not to be so, I guess, corporate with my company, my business, and the way I do business. I just feel this hobby and a lot of the way I see businesses in this hobby going is they're trying to be real big and get all commercial. And I mean, I understand that's great for business and great for money, but when it comes down to the hobby and sharing information and stuff like that, I'd rather keep things, you know, as they are and real. You know, like when you grow a crypt, they're not always going to be giant monsters. Like sometimes you're going to have little propagals that pop up together, especially if you're growing them from seed and you're just letting them be natural growth and continue to reseed. So, and in my opinion, when you buy a plant, you know, you could pay $2 for a little propagal like this, you know, just the one runner, or you could pay, you know, $4 or $5 for 6 of them. So what's a better deal, and what's going to get somebody more interested in growing plants and give them more opportunities to grow plants? So that's kind of where I'm at. I know it's like a shot in my own foot financially with stuff like that, but I, again, am not out to make money. I'm just out to grow the hobby and grow my name in the hobby. So yeah. All right. I throw them in the bag then. I let them, you know, I shake off any excess water.